Hi there guys, Shawn Dalrymple here, Army Bass Angler National Pro Staff member, also Force on 4 Season 4 champion, Force on 4 Season 6 competitor. Tune in April 2017 time frame and check out and see how we did in Season 6. But what I want to talk to you today about is while I was out there at Force on Force, had a lot of kayaks fishing around me, so my partner Jeff Campbell's real big into kayaking fishing, and I have a good friend Cody Prather who does it really big. So one thing I've done is got me a kayak. But one thing I want to do is add a Lowrance Elite TI7 to it. Comes in the box just like this. I kind of just want to talk through how I rigged it up and everything. I got my Skeeter FX 21 limited edition back here behind me. Love that boat. Got 3 HDS 12s. Did all the rigging myself on Lowrance Electronics. And I've probably done 6 or 7 bass boats of my own. Just multiple boats that, when we went from Gen 1s to Gen 2s to Gen 3s. Pretty well familiar how to rig a bass boat out. But a kayak's a little bit different. So I kind of wanted to talk about that and say, how did I go about doing that? And then, Lowrance is a great product, one of our great sponsors for Army Bass Anglers, weapon tested, weapon approved products out there. So rigging them a kayak was a little bit different. And so we'll talk that, and then we'll talk a little bit about some of the functions that we have on the Lowrance Elite TI. Great unit. For the money, you can't beat it. Does everything that a Gen 3 touch does, except for a couple of things it won't do. It won't do video on it. It doesn't do Ethernet on it, but you do have the NEMA hookup, so you can still share waveforms back and forth. So and then it won't do 3D. I'm not going to do the 3D on kayak, but for the money, you're still getting down scan, side scan, structure scan, and so you can't beat the product out there. I want to talk through this, so I'm going to come on around and talk how we kind of rig this up, because it's not a said and done deal how you do that. So first thing you got to do, it comes in that box right there. Elite TI right there. You're going to get the unit itself, the transducer, power cords, the inline fuse, all that's going to get a mounting hardware for the transducer so you can mount it to your boat. But one of the first things you got to do on a kayak is figure out the power source. So what I've done here is I've just gone and got me a 10 amp, 12 volt battery right here, and I'm mounting it right here in the front of the kayak. Not particularly one brand or the other, just something you can get by probably with a 7 amp. I went ahead and went with a 10 amp because my little battery holder here that I have got, it'll hold the 10 amps, so give me a little bit extra time with that structure scan. But you'll see the power here, positive and negative. But what I want you to pay particular attention to is this third wire here, the second wire I've got running to the negative battery post. That's going to come in real handy when I get back here to the unit. I'm going to talk about rigging it on a kayak. So, I just rigged it right here in the front. And then, you run it all, it runs all the way back up underneath there. Wires all hidden, nice clean setup there. You come right here on the kayak, all right? You're looking right here. I just cut me a little Hobie through the hole plug right here. Drilled a 1-inch hole and put it in, ran the wires through there. The power wire coming out through there. And ran it to the back of the unit here. You'll notice again this other negative wire I got right here running up here to the unit, and I'll talk about this. And then of course we got my transducer. I'll come back and talk a little bit about the transducer, how I'm mounting it, why. But we're going to go up here and kind of talk through the whole, why I keep going back to that second power, or that second negative cable running off the battery up there. So go ahead and power this thing on. All right, plenty of power to turn the unit on, the Elite TI here. No issues with it. So that's going to power up, go through its sequence. Just go ahead and set the camera right here, talk through it. Alright, so you got the startup screen that comes in here, tilt it down a little bit so you can see it here. You're going to see me touch this, and nothing's going to happen. Nothing at all. That's one of the big different things about rigging a kayak versus a bass boat. I know on the Army Bass Angler Coalition side out there, we get a lot of guys that do kayaks. That's why I want to talk about it. Reason being, you have a grounding issue with the kayak. When it's in the water, the transducer grounds it, so no issue. So when I want to work on it here in the garage, I did a lot of research. I had to figure out why I couldn't use the touch screen. It's simply just a grounding issue. So there's a couple of things you can do. You can touch the transducer to the floor. You can set the battery on the floor, run the power off. Or you can do what I did. Take that second wire around the negative battery post, run up here. I got this little wire with this little alligator clip. You can kind of see it, you know, right here. You know, kind of big. So all I got to do is, I'm going to back below here, is touch this little alligator clip. Bam! Gives me a ground so I can work on it here in the garage. No issues with it when we go into the water. Plenty of stuff here. So right there, touch it, going in right here to the map. Okay. So why I run that second negative wire off the battery post up there, so I can ground it while I'm here in the garage. You know, when I'm doing updates and connecting to the Bluetooth and all that stuff, I want to be able to do that. And the way to do that is just ground it. I did a lot of different, went back and rewired 3 or 4 times before I figured this piece out. So something that I didn't know it because I rigged a lot of bass boats. So, you know, lesson learned here for me. So as we go back over here to the transducer, I've got a total skin, you know, transducer here by Lowrance, and all I've done is run it off a ram mount. I got a rail system here, and I run it off a rail mount. Got it mounted right here. Pretty simple, below the water line, clean, everything like that. Come back up here. Instead of running it back into the hull of the kayak, I decided what I did was just I zip tied it nice and clean to this bar, and then running the cable just directly to the back of the Elite TI7. So no issues. Nice clean setup with the transducer. You know, there's a lot of wire there. The nice thing I like about this is if I need a spare transducer for the FX Skeeter over there, I got one. I can take it off. The cable's just right here. But pretty cool. I just can kind of rotate it up, rotate it in there as I transport it, and then back down here when it's in the water. So we'll come back over here, talk this Elite TI7 a little bit more in depth. And one of the cool things I like about this, with Lowrance in general, is the Inside Genesis and on the Go Free Marine site that they have. You know, you can build your own maps. I live in a neighborhood there. We got 3 little lakes here, as you can see, 1, 2, 3 right there. So, guess what? There ain't no maps out there for it, right? So the cool thing is, you'll see as I zoom in right here, I built my own map off the Insight Genesis and downloaded it. Contour lines, and what I've done, what you see red and brown like that, I'm using the composition map right now. You can do just a regular traditional map that we're used to seeing, but it's still all the contour lines, but you can see where the main deep part of this little lake here is. So cool, you know, a feature with this Elite TI that I got on my kayak, go to my Insight Genesis, upload the sonar log, build my own map. Did that basically in about, I don't know, an hour out there paddling around, going forth and doing that. So great little tool you can use. This unit hooks right into my Wi-Fi here at the house. I can upload it directly to the Insight Genesis site, and then I merged them together, the two sonar logs together, and made that map. And shortly I'll get on these other 2 lakes and do the same thing with them. But cool little feature on there. So good stuff with it. Come back around here and talk. Again, pretty clean and simple setup with the Lowrance Elite TI7 on the kayak. Just got to figure out what your power source is going to be. Run that in there. I really just highly encourage you just to run that second negative cable if you want to use it in the garage, because completes the ground. No issues once it's in the water. The ground creates that ground. And there's actually a Lowrance video talking about that out there. And that's how I kind of figured that out. But I like to work on my units here in the garage. So that second negative wire kind of helps me out there. But other than that, great little unit. Easy setup on the kayak. Figure out what your power source is going to be. And the running power cord to it, and figure out how you're going to mount the transducer to the kayak itself. Again, I already talked about that. Ram mount here and all. Some kayaks got it where you can mount it right underneath the bottom. Got a little protective plate that you can put on it. That works good too. It just depends on if you got that or not. I like this because mine doesn't have that. This way I don't have to worry about scratching the kayak or whatever. I could probably mount it to the bottom of this kayak, and then I don't worry about getting in shallow water and scratching that transducer up. So this way I don't have to. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe you learned a little bit. I know that little wire trick is kind of huge. Got any questions? Let me know. Anything specific about the unit? Literally, this unit gives me the exact same look and feel as my Gen 3 HDS 12s I got on the FX Scooter behind me. So just drop a note there. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about on the Elite TI, or even if there's something on the Gen 3 HDS 12s that you let me do a video on, and I'll make that happen, guys. So hope you enjoyed it. I'm Ambassador Shawn Dalrymple out here.